All right, what's up, y'all? I'm pretty sure today is the new moon, and usually it's the full moon that drains me like this. I've been having these weird, I'm not going to get TMI, but I've been having these like double cycles. It's been happening for like a couple of years on and off, and I think that that's what's really draining me right now. But anyway, this is in my energy, so let's talk about it because I never would have thought that I'd be 35 and a single parent, and I don't know that people really, I don't think that's something that people predict for themselves. I mean, maybe they do, and that's cool. Little lemongrass. That one's one of my favorites. I like the lavender too. Okay, because this is what's coming to me, and I don't want to be misinterpreting, but this is how the energy is coming through, is that there's this feeling of desperation from the masculine, that there's like maybe an amount of people or amount of men, we're going to consult the tarot too to see if we get anything, that like want to lead, that want to be a masculine leader, especially if you are attracted to a woman who is more feminine. But there's not, you may not have any elders in your life. You may not know, you may not have experienced what that means. And I feel like I've had a wide array of dating experience. Like I was in that one relationship with my ex, Teddy's dad, for like a few years. So like that one, then I wasn't dating around. And then like, since being a single parent, I haven't had that much experience, but, like I did a lot in college. I didn't really date much before that. Okay, I'm trying to stay on track here. Okay, so yeah, there's this feeling of like there's maybe, like I said, a group of men that want to step up and be a leader, but there's not, there's this lack of knowledge or this lack of experience, maybe even with it. And then the other thing that came to me when I was thinking about this before, because it's very, I don't know because I'm not a man, but I imagine that having to deal with rejection is incredibly painful. And yet it's also the thing that is going to help you grow and evolve as a man. I feel like more than anything is like getting out into the field and getting that experience and learning from rejection and from dating different people and stuff like that. Like I had that moment even today of like, there was a situation that I had that turned down, and I had to be like, I felt kind of just, I'm not aggressive, but just like, blunt. And I'm like, I hate having to do that. Like I don't like being mean. I still don't like it, even though I know I've come on, maybe that seems surprising to some people, but I genuinely don't like it. And, but I've made the mistake of leading people on before, being too friendly and people taking it the wrong way. And I know that, like, to me, clear communication is like, even if you're setting a strong boundary or telling someone to back off, is better than the opposite, which is leading them on and creating some kind of messy situation. I watched a guy get stood up in a date, how painful it was for him. And I was like, I never want to do that to somebody. Like, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So, it sucks on the woman's end too, I guess is what I'm saying. At least for me, like I said, I don't like turning people down, but I've let things play out that I was like, okay, I can't do this. And it's like, I had this moment of like, we could get mad about the fact that that women are set up in this way, that like we are demanding, and it's kind of like we want this polarity and we want this dance and we want it. There's this like back and forth, and we keep asking and making changes, and it's like, but we're built this way. It's like I've tried to bypass it too. I tried to do fawning. I tried to like play the character that somebody wanted me to play or whatever, and that just creates more drama and more manipulation and more pain. So, but how are we going to make this better for the men? Like, I can't just go through these situations and not think like, how can we make this better? Because if I had, I'm very tired in this moment, and I honestly don't want to be dealing with it in a sense. Like, there's that part of me that's like, I don't really want to be dealing with this, but then it's also like, every frustration or every challenge is also an opportunity to like figure, create new opportunity, or like create a new way of doing things, or more understanding. So the last thing that came to me is that it's like, for me, it's like I'm looking for a man. Definitely I want a masculine who's leading at this point, but also and has like, there's more to it than that. Like I can't be with someone who hasn't done inner work and isn't on this kind of on the same path at this point, because I just think there's going to be a lack of compatibility. But because I'm choosing growth, so it's got to go both ways. But the other thing that came to me is that it's like I'm looking for a man I'm attracted to, and I'm open to a man who's also open, who's also receptive, who's also listening to listening to my side and being able to adapt to that, and wants to open up about himself and tell me where he is in life, and I'm using this analogy or this scenario as like if you were just having like a few conversations with someone, but like someone who just kind of like doesn't say much, and they're just like, hey, want to go out sometime, and then they just keep asking or something like that. It's like there's no back and forth, there's not a give and take. So like to me as a woman, it's like I'm gonna be immediately attracted to someone who doesn't want to just be the hunter. Like there's a time and a place that can be very sexy and a big turn on, but it's like when you're trying to create a connection with someone, it's got to be both ways. It's not just let me hunt this woman and make her submit. We got the Fool and the Knight of Swords as the first two. Wow, that's a crazy combination. And we have Tower reversed. Okay, so new moon is bringing some things in. She's like jumping at the new. That is a new. No, that's a full moon. Okay. This one. Oh, I got Two of Cups. Someone might be mad about the Two of Cups. This Page of Wands reverse that's not good news. And our world is reversed. So there's something going on right now with the masculine energy and I'm getting like a lot of like emotional pain. But that there's just a lot that's been surfacing right now for me, and like just like the fact that it's so certain, like it's just so different once you start to open yourself more and energetically, and like it's weird because I'm sure that I don't want to open too many topics. It feels like a lot of days, there's some productive days and there's a lot of days that are less productive. There's a lot of days of like just moving through something energetically, and it definitely gets frustrating because you just feel like you're moving at a snail's pace. And then on top of that, it's like when situations like this arise where it's like, I would love to have time for friends. I would love to have that in my life again. And it just feels like, why are some of us going through this, and why haven't we been able to create better? But then I'm also like, I can't be ungrateful for the fact that I have peace, and that, I've been able to build a relationship with my kid and with the God and stuff. And like, it's so weird because so many times it's like you get you're like energetically blocked from things and you just don't understand why until later. But regardless of that, it's like I do wish that I do want to be able to make this dating situation better, and like how can we help men like be able to drop into their heart and be able to connect more with women, to be able to start to create that polarity. I can think of a few different instances with a man that there was that back and forth. And I don't want to give names because I don't have their permission. So, but I think that we as a culture, as a people, would deeply and greatly benefit from men who are more who have learned how to be in their masculine, be in their heart. Like if we can and create some kind of polarity classes or something, but we've got to, I don't know what the answer is. We got the moon out here. They're all dropping, y'all. 9 of Swords. I think, yeah. I think if it's not exhaustion, it might be mental torture that you're in. This Knight of Swords is that very like hunter, but like next, that's even another level of like, I will get what I want. It's a voyeuristic, like, that's not a healthy energy. That's very very demonic. So I do think that more men have to want to, I think it kind of goes hand in hand, like wanting to be more in your masculine, wanting to drop into your heart, wanting to heal, like wanting to heal your shadow. I don't know how it works for men. But I think regardless, like men wanting to be more in their, I think it's one of those things of like, it sucks because there's all this unknown beforehand, but then it's really like, I think you would benefit and the people around you would benefit, and it would make you feel better to be more masculine, like to be more, I think that's more of a natural state for a man. It's just unfortunate that the world is the way it is and that there's not more role models and more, it's not more common. It's like you have to seek it out. Because I don't want to say like it goes along with healing, and that could be wrong. I mean, it could be that there's things you can do to just be more in your masculine, be more in your masculine, or be more in your heart, more heart led without having to do shadow work. But I think oh man, y'all, it's just not the day. It's not the day for this. Seeing 7 of Pentacles reversed and the Hermit reversed. So that's saying, I'm saying don't be inactive. Pentacles, everything's reversed. King of Wands upright. This fiery energy. I feel like the feminine, that's really crazy, but I'm feeling the feminine in that King of Wands energy, because that's kind of how it feels too when I have to set a very firm boundary. It feels very aggressive. It feels very masculine because it's like, don't get in my energy anymore. And it's not receptive. It's like the opposite. It's not being open and being able to flow. It's having to stop the flow. So it's painful. Like, that's what I mean. Like for a woman, it's like I was tired too. So I had like a cry over it. 'Cause I'm just like, it gets old, it's like, it's a woman okay, thank you. That was the other thing I wanted to mention, is that a woman is always going to want to submit. Like that's our natural like desire, and to feel safe and to feel able to drop into her feminine. So, it goes both. That's what I mean. Like it all goes together, where it's like a man being in his masculine. Hello, Greither. A man being in his masculine allows a woman to drop into her feminine, and then but then we have to keep working through our conditioning. Like it is what it is. We're highly programmed. So, all right, let me wrap this up. So yeah, it's a lot of emotions, and yeah, they're saying, we got to be courageous. That goes along with this path, I guess. But there's a promise of this Two of Cups. But Two of Cups to me, because that's not the same, that's not the lover. So Two of Cups is also like the promise of partnership, of like, of camaraderie, of that like kind of thing that I'm saying, like, let's turn that wheel back up and let's figure out how to create this polarity. Like, that's the Two of Cups upright, is like collaborating and working together. So I know we can figure this out, and I love men. Like, I've had a lot of not health, not the most positive relationship to men, or even same thing, like knowing what masculinity is until later. But I have experienced both in dating, and I've dated men that were probably considered unsafe, or like, you know, like that weren't, okay, I don't know why the emails are coming in. I'm gonna wrap this up. Now Swords is on the bottom. Come on, we need something good. We need something better. We have Two of Cups down there too. I know we can figure this out, and I know we need freaking polarity classes, and I know we need our masculine men. If you're hearing me right now, like, we need to hear from you. Like, we need to hear you roar, and we need to hear you. If you, especially, I guess, like, I know, I'm thinking of one person in particular who's using his relationship, and it's so beautiful, and it's so rare. Like, that's the thing. It's like, that's what always strikes me, is like, it's rare to see men, and I know, because I'm sure that he has to, God, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm sure he deals with all kinds of flack of men calling him simps and stuff like that. But where some of us have to start doing it to shift it. And I guess women have to keep holding our standards and our really high, and our boundaries, because otherwise I'm just continuing the same, like, settling and like allowing energy into my life that I don't want and stuff like that. So it's like, it's hard, because it's like we want connection. Like, we're always going to want connection. So it's hard when you're having to block that. It's painful. So I just want to say that, because I love men, and it sucks to have to play this game, but we also have to be willing to grow and learn, and want to change, because that's not my place to make anybody change either. So I hope we can create more of that healthy masculine feminine, what is the word for that? Like, dance. Yeah. I'm too tired for this. All right, bye guys.